Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Butterfield. I'm currently a student with Ashford University in a Psychology 615 class. The assessment that I have done is through social media, and it's titled Big Five Assessment, Social Media, completed August 25th, 2016. The individual that I have chosen, this is a made-up name, Dorothy L. Donahue. She is a 32-year-old female, currently unemployed and living off of child support, recently divorced for the second time, has two daughters from different fathers, has been diagnosed with bipolar and depression, and has had very supportive extended family such as parents, siblings, cousins, aunts, and uncles. The assessment that was used is called the Big Five Assessment. The Big Five Assessment is a tool that is used to determine her personality style, which consisted of five global trait dimensions: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism, emotional stability, according to Kerwin 2014. Openness is a positive valuation or appreciation of new experiences connected with imagination and broad interests. Conscientiousness refers to a tendency to act dutifully, to show achievement, motivation, self-discipline, and persistence in planned behavior. Extroversion is a tendency to seek the company of others. External stimulation, a high level of straightforwardness, cooperative, accommodating, and trusting. Neuroticism refers to emotional instability and a tendency to experience anxiety, angry hostility, and self-doubt. And this is according to Brandstatter and Opt, 2014. The media site which was assessed was Facebook, and the first trait was openness to experience. According to this Big Five assessment, she was at a 12%, the lower end of the spectrum, which means that she would prefer to keep things familiar and traditional, that her openness to change would cause problems with her mind frame because she is more on the rational side. Conscientiousness, she scored on the lower end of the spectrum, which mentioned that she was at a 1%, and she would not be very organized, but a little more on the messy side, that she is very spontaneous and could be at a higher chance as carelessness. Continuing on to extroversion, the Big Five assessment score was on the high side of this factor, which showed traits of outgoingness, social behavior, and that she could be very energetic, which she did score in 91%. Agreeableness, this score was very low at a 1%, which shows that she finds it very easy to be critical and criticize others. She could be perceived as being rude, callous, or maybe harsh at times. Neuroticism, this score was at 80%, seemed accurate when pertaining to how anxious she is, and tends to be paranoid at times, which could be perceived as being high-strung. This was seen through some of the posts that she had on her Facebook page. Now, this is her real-life assessment. When it comes to openness to experience and intellect, she did score 47%, but since this is on the lower end of the spectrum, which is under 50%, she's more on the conventional side and does not normally seek out new experiences. When it comes to conscientiousness, she's not really reliable or careful, therefore her score was lower, which was at a 13%, showing that this is not a very dependable person and more on the negligent side when it comes to various situations. Continuing on to extroversion, according to assessment, she is very sociable, talkative, and friendly due to her high score of 83%, which means that she can be extremely energetic. Agreeableness, this score was low at a 10%, which shows that she finds it very easy to be critical and criticize others, which is very similar to the other assessment. She could be also perceived as being rude, callous, or maybe harsh at times. Neuroticism, the score of 80% seemed accurate when pertaining to how anxious she is and tends to be paranoid at times, which could be perceived as high-strung. There wasn't that many differences that I could see. The only differences that I could see were in the percentages of some of the factors. For example, Openness to experience and intellects was 12% on the Facebook assessment, and there was a big change to 47% in real life assessment. Therefore, she is more open in real life than she is on social media. This seems to be the biggest difference that I could analyze. I did this on the behavioral theory. According to Hyvie, Kopetsky, and Riddle 2001, integration of the bipolar literature on vulnerability factors in childhood and maintenance factors in adulthood um, can influence Dorothy, and it is a product of her behaviors created by the experiences of her childhood, which led into her adulthood. Dorothy's brother died when she was 16 years old, and he was 13 at the time, which her behavior changed more drastically at this point due to this negative experience in her life with his death. Therefore, this leads into her personality traits of her reactions to the environment and being closed-minded and not really receptive to constructive criticism. She behaves according to how she is feeling at the time, which contributes to her bipolar tendencies. The usefulness of the assessment and the theory. When it comes to the assessment, it helps determine what type of personality traits best fit Dorothy, gives Dorothy an idea on what she could do to work on traits such as her anxiety, anxiousness, and her closed-mindedness. The theory helps determine how her behavior was determined by the different experiences that she obtained in her environment. These experiences caused her to make decisions which affected her behavior, such as using illegal substances. I would like to thank you for your time and for listening to my assignment. And this is the reference page of all the references that I have obtained. Thank you so much.